of at least Golden State in the conference finals. But the point I raised, do you really see LeBron living and playing in Houston? Because I can't. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't fit my eye test. Does he belong in a...
It would look right, but you know what? Also, they would have to defeat their roster.
Yeah.
They don't have that much.
No Capella. Capella, you're going to lose Capella. You're probably going to lose the Reeves. Probably Tucker. Eric Gordon.
All that right there. Now you got those.
Manchester City get a corner. In from De Bruyne. Well, amazingly, the defender's got time to get the ball down and clear it from the corner.
Okay, so I told you there's one scenario that works in LA and only one, and LeBron would have to convince Kevin Durant to leave Golden State and join him in LA. And I'm pretty sure Kevin has 2 houses in Southern California also, or at least in the LA area.
It would be fitting, because what do greats normally do? What did Will do? Where did he end his career? Where did Kareem come? What about Shaq?
I buy that. No, I agree. That fits my eye test.
Yeah.
But you need a real wingman, and there's only one.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant. And if you could weaken Golden State in just in a shot, in a moment, strengthen the Lakers.
Oh, if the Lakers got Kevin Durant and LeBron, it's over for them. Nobody can beat them.
Who would they put around? Didn't matter.
They can put me and you around. Me and you around going to win 60 games. They put somebody else around, they might win 74, 75.
And don't you agree, Eddie? Their games would fit. I think they're good.
Yeah, I think so too, because you know Kevin Durant is not like so much of a super alpha. He's more of a I'm a alpha. I'm a dog hooper, but personality wise, he's kind of a secondary personality. LeBron is kind of like the same too. At times can be dominant, but at times could defer. And I think they will have a good balance right there. And they're 2 different type of players.
Yes,
very 2 different. One is a real ISO player. You get him in the elbow, that free throw line extended area. He ISO you hard to guard. LeBron more downhill, go downhill, get to the rack. Maybe shoot some threes if you go under. So I think they will mesh perfect.
Which brings us back to the East and your point of you don't want to leave the East and go to the Beast in the West. And with Philly, I would like them with LeBron, but I don't know if I would love them. I don't know if it'd be a slam dunk that they would lose.
Would they be able to sign J.J. Redick back? That would be the question. They signed him for $20 million. They got 27 cap space. So they right now without signing him, if they re-sign him, sign LeBron, yeah. So
you have to lose him
over the cap. It's a lot of bad.
Just signing LeBron will put you over the cap because he won a max, which is going to be about $40 million a year. So what? No Redick. You probably lose Covington. You're going to lose one of those bigs. Nah.
As far as money, I think the Lakers is the one that fits the best as far as money and cap wise, and you could maybe have some more pieces with you. Think everywhere else you're going to deplete the roster, and it's just going to be you, somebody else. You're not going to have no role players.
It's going to be Carmelo Anthony going to the Knicks again. He wanted out of Denver so bad, but they had to deplete the roster to get it. That when he got there, he looked around like, "What the? No, bro, we had to give up everything just to get you."
They got him Iverson. What was left Iverson?
Yeah, no, because they got Iverson in Denver. Yeah.
Oh, in Denver. I thought you did.
No, but when they traded him to the Knicks.
Oh, to the Knicks. Yeah.
Knicks had to give up so much to get him that when he got there, it was just
nothing left.
Nothing.
Well, I hear you, which brings us back to would he stay in Cleveland? And you brought it up yesterday. It's the first objective point you've ever made about LeBron James. You got to commit. You got to tell him yes or no. And you need to tell him before tomorrow night. Yes.
Well, they tried to work out something with Kemba, and we'll give him that 8 pick and Kevin Walker.
You can get it to get Kemba Walker?
No, for Kawhi.
Oh, for Kawhi.
Yeah,
for Kawhi.
The 8 pick and Kevin Love.
And see, I don't see the Spurs trading Kawhi to the Lakers, because then you have to, if you create a team over there, you got to constantly. That's who you're going to have to beat. You created that team. I don't see the Spurs helping the Lakers out in that way. Now,
they might not have no choice. Kawhi's made it abundantly clear. I ain't thinking for y'all. Because I don't want y'all to think I'm thinking on y'all time. I might be thinking on somebody else's time. But y'all don't have to worry about it.
Well, that could get you sent to anywhere to Brooklyn.
Okay.
And you'll get all their assets. So somebody that's new, that could get sent. You can send him there for 1 year and get some assets. And then
Brooklyn would be a fool, but I'm not surprised because they gave up all those assets for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. So nothing will surprise me about Brooklyn. But you would be a fool after Kawhi Leonard has told you he's leaving no matter where you ship him to, unless it's the Lakers after 2019. I'm not giving up my young picks, my young talent for 1 year.
Somebody might do that there in the playoff run feel that they puts him over the top to win a championship. Somebody might do that.
I don't know, maybe.
That will be at the All-Star break.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to reassess that.
There's so many dominoes that have to fall after LeBron makes his decision. Do you think we'll be waiting a while, or just happens pretty quickly?
I don't know. I think
2 minutes left. That's added.
Why your Subaru Outback owner always smiling? Because Subaru Outback holds its value better than any other vehicle in its class, according to ALG. Even better than Toyota RAV4. Go with the industry leader.
What the?
Subaru Outback.
Forward play from them.
Channing will be needing help in this situation.
Well, you never know. I think in a situation like this, when you're dealing with a superstar talent, you exhaust all the possibilities. And at some point in time, do we flip the page? That's the question that Greg Popovich is going to have to ask himself.
The book is closing.
Oh, it is closing? Okay, well, let me go over my book.
Yeah.
Skip, and I think from the very beginning, I thought I made myself very clear that Kawhi Leonard was going to take these comments from a situation like, hold on, there have probably been times, and there in every athlete, professional athlete's life, that he plays in a game that maybe he's less than 100%. Maybe he should not even have played, or she should not have played at all. But somehow they summon up the courage to go out there and gut it out. And at the end of the day, when you're out there on your stage, all the fans see is the team name on the front of the jersey and your name on the back of the jersey. They don't care what it took for you to get to that point. They just want you to go out there and be helpful. Give a very similar situation. When I was in...
Greg Popovich said the challenge to move with Kawhi Leonard yesterday, according to our former cellphone speaker in Wisconsin. Pop has been working for weeks to set up this meeting to discuss the issues that have fractured the franchise's relationship with Leonard and caused him to issue a public trade demand. Kawhi has made it clear he hopes to be in LA, preferably with the Lakers. Matt Kellerman. Should the Spurs still be spending their time and energy trying to sway Kawhi to stay in San Antonio?
Of course they should. You have to do your due diligence. Popovich is the guy in that, but he's the franchise, really. And he's not sending anyone else. He is going to sit down with his best player, who, by the way, when healthy, I believe, is the second best player in basketball, even better than the great Kevin Durant. Kawhi Leonard, by the way, people like Michael Jordan look at him. And by the way, not just Jordan, others look at Kawhi and go, that's a level of competitiveness that reminds us of Michael Jordan. He's quiet, he's soft-spoken, his demeanor is kind of under the radar, but, in spite of what his uncle or anyone else around him wants for him, he's that kind of guy, but he is intensely competitive, and other than LeBron James, the best player in basketball. You must do your due diligence. It reminds me, Stephen A., of a team, they're down 8 points, there are 43 seconds left. Well, they're very, very likely to lose that game. It's highly unlikely to win that game. But does that mean you don't foul, put them on the line, and then take threes? Of course not. Is it desperate? Is it unlikely to work? Yes, but you must try, because it's not like the odds are zero. You must do your due diligence. You must put every effort forth to keep the best player in the game outside of LeBron James on your team. And not only is he that, but he's also been inculcated in the Spurs culture. You think of, until very recently, with the injury, and you can trace it back to his uncle taking over his career. As I've mentioned, it's called show business, not family business. But whatever you want to trace it to, until that moment, Kawhi seemed like the perfect successor to Tim Duncan, who seemed like the perfect successor to David Robinson. Kawhi is the soft-spoken, intensely competitive, all-time great superstar who doesn't make all the highlight reels. He just helps you win championships. They must do everything in their power, even if they believe it's a lost cause, to do their due diligence to see if there's a way they can salvage the relationship and keep him on the team.
I think the Spurs are wasting their time here, Max. I disagree with you. I understand where you're coming from, and on its face, obviously.
If I hit circle one more time and that joker does not kick the ball.
Kawhi Leonard met with Greg Popovich face-to-face, looked him dead in his face and told him, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in San Antonio any longer. And by all accounts, everywhere that I've searched,
he is absolutely positively going to become a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. You know what? Let me take that back. I should tell you L.A. He wants to be in L.A. The likelihood is that it is the Lakers, but Kawhi Leonard wants to be in L.A., and he is going to be in L.A. either this year or next, either this season or after this season come next summer. He is going to be in L.A. There is no way around that. So he's put San Antonio and the basketball world on notice. He wants out. He no longer wants to be a member of the organization. He was letting them know now, not to just give them a year in advance heads up, but to give them the opportunity before the draft and during this summer to move him so he doesn't have to spend the next season in San Antonio. That's basically what he's done. So if you are the San Antonio Spurs and you have a superstar universally recognized as one of the top 3 or 4 players in the world, and he has made it very, very clear to you that he doesn't want to be there. Tim Duncan can't convince him otherwise. David Robinson can't convince him otherwise. Manu Ginobili can't convince him otherwise. Tony Parker can't convince him otherwise. Greg Popovich can't convince him otherwise. Then to me, you need to be about the business of doing everything that you can to get the best offer imaginable so you can find him with another team and get as many assets as you want, and you do so before the draft. Rather than spend your time preoccupied with sort of assuaging his feelings or trying to modify them to some degree, recognize the hopeless situation that it is. He does not want to be there. You do have his rights. You do have him under contract for another year, so you don't have to capitulate. That is true. But in terms of trying to massage the situation, it's done. He doesn't want to be there. He wants to be in L.A., and that is that.
Studied, tested, proven. For the world's best athletes, nothing beats Gatorade.
You know, Quarante Cinco 45, for those of you who don't know Espanol, bring all up in the comments section. Louis Riddick, we know everything by this man is calculated. Good to have you here with us.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with you, Max. What's going on? What's Brady doing here?
He's taking a page out of LeBron James' book. I mean, as Stephen A. would say, he's controlling the narrative. Guys, I used to go, my baba, that's Yiddish for grandmother, used to go feed the birds in the park towards the end of her life. And sometimes she would take me when I was a little boy to Washington Square Park and feed the pigeons, you know. And if you want to gather a crowd of pigeons, a good way is to drop some crumbs on the floor, breadcrumbs. They all come to feed off your scraps, basically. And that's what Tom Brady is doing. Tom Brady is just exercising power here in a way. He's feeding us, we're the pigeons, and he's feeding us crumbs, and he's watching us gather. All it takes is a cryptic message about 45, and he is in the D block of the #1 show in the time slot on cable, incidentally, today. I mean, that's all it takes is the breadcrumbs, and all the pigeons come and gather, and we are the pigeons, and so are you watching at home. It's kind of a recreational exercise of power for Tom Brady, and it's kind of hilarious to watch when you see it that way. Here we are all crowded around the... Let's talk about it. Let's bring one of the best experts we have, Louis Riddick, in to discuss it. Here we are feeding.
It's not that Max is wrong about that, but I'd say you're incomplete. He's also covering his backside. Because as you said, we are it. We're the #1 show on cable in our time slot. People watch, people hear what we have to say, what we say resonates, and it is what it is. And I'm quite sure that man heard me and you talk about him, and I'm quite sure he heard me say, look, you stabbing Bill Belichick in the back. Because when Garoppolo was there, we didn't hear such words coming out of your mouth. But then all of a sudden, Garoppolo was gone, and here you are talking to Oprah. Now, mind you, it's not news that he's closer to retirement than he is to when he started. That's obvious when you're age 40 plus. The problem is his willingness to speak on it so nonchalantly, giving the impression or leaving the impression, I know my days are numbered. It's probably sooner than later. It could be the next year. So he didn't say that last part, but that's basically the implication that he gave. And when that's clearly the antithesis to what you said when Garoppolo was there, that's problematic when they had to let go of Garoppolo to appease you, because you clearly heard Garoppolo's footsteps
coming up the rear trying to get a job in the NFL as a starting quarterback. Having said all of that, what does he do now? He comes out with this. Because he wants to remind everybody, yeah, I'm still planning on staying around long. Because again, it's hypocritical for him to say anything else after all the noise he made about how long he plans on staying around. That is a key, pivotal point that cannot Tom Brady needs to be about the business. He needs to speak about the business of wanting to be around for years to come. If Jimmy Garoppolo, Lewis Rich, is what we think he is,
what?
undefeated,
He took me out in the joint.
7 starts as an NFL quarterback, 2 with New England, 5 with the San Francisco 49ers. Just having received a
what? That should have been a penalty kick. That should have been a penalty.
$1 million guaranteed. Because of Jimmy Garoppolo, what the expectations are, and what he's expected to mean to the NFL, and what John Lynch and players who play with him have said and raved about him, you cannot be Tom Brady. Speaking about walking